We were making out in her dorm. I was on top and I shit my pants. r/ask Reddit by online comps. Married men of Reddit, what was that dumb thing you did during your dating phase that you can't believe your wife ended up overlooking? For our second date I had invited her out with myself and some friends to celebrate a friend getting a job. I drank heavily. She was my DD. She drove me home, and as she pulled up to the curb I threw open the door, rolled out of the car, and vomited into the gutter. She then offered to help me cross the street, to which I responded by yelling I'm disgusting and sprinting across the street. Once inside, I brushed my teeth aggressively. She asked what I was doing, and I told her I needed to clean my mouth so I could kiss her. After I was done, I walked to my room, laid down, and immediately fell asleep. She spent the night to make sure I was okay. I'm now holding our baby girl who was born just last week. I asked her at one point why she stayed with me through that, and she said it was because even though I was pissed drunk, the whole time I was still gentle and kind. Asked her if she was having fun, and introduced her to everyone I knew. I'm a lucky guy. Edit. Till that brushing your teeth after vomiting is bad. I love you. A vomit. You're lovely. A bath. I love you. He whispers and pukes on my scarf. You're so very lovely. You're lovely. He weeps. I love you. You're lovely. Don't look at me. Sleeps. Flicked a dime at her head. We were playing table football. Not sure what I was thinking. She has a scar. I kiss it every night before we go to bed. We are married and have 3 kids. I somehow totally understand this. When you get an urge to do something that seems mildly stupid and it turns out much worse in practice, but you already did it anyways. When I kneeled to propose I landed on a sharp rock and we had to go to the ER because it lodged in my kneecap. Replace rock with rusty nail and same thing. She had a childhood home she loved, so I bought it without her knowing. Then I took her back onto it, and when she was reading the deed I proposed, only to get an old nail in my knee. We got married today. I love you, he started. I only love you, and when we are parted, I'm broken and blue. I'd injure you never. I'd make you a vow. I want you forever. I'm asking you. Bow. Mailed it. She was about to sneeze, and she was sitting half on my lap, so I kinda thought she was gonna sneeze on me. And I DK what I was thinking, but I put my hand up to block her sneeze, except I had a glass in my hand, and I blocked her own hand from covering her sneeze, and instead she slammed her face into my glass. Married 6 years now. She still has all her teeth. On our first dinner date, my husband ordered a shit ton of food to show me his favorites at an Indian restaurant, and forgot his wallet at home, and only discovered doing so when the check had arrived. Cleared me out well over $100, and he was absolutely mortified, but we've been married for near 2 years so my card got declined on the first lunch date we went on. The bill was less than $20. I was ducking mortified. 15 years married now. Insisted that everything in San Francisco was walking distance from everything else, and decided we should walk from Pier 39 to Golden Gate Park. It is walkable, but not third date walkable, or whatever shoes she happened to be wearing that day walkable. As someone unfamiliar with San Francisco, I googled it 6.5 miles apart, a 2-hour walk according to Google, and by the looks of it, a shit ton of hills. Google is giving me a warning I've never seen before that walking directions may not reflect real world conditions, and it looks like the elevation changes back and forth a couple hundred feet more than once. We were making out in her dorm. I was on top, and I shit my pants. I need a tifo of this. We had come back from class. Her dorm was right next to the school, so we walked over, started as studying, and then turned into kissing. Once we were horizontal, I felt a shift in my guts. I took a chance. Most of my gas that day had been dry and silent, so it felt safe. As soon as I let it go, I knew I was in trouble. As I stood up, and she repulsively sniffed the air. She asked if I'll let one rip. I simply said I sit myself, and needed a ride home. We went to the movies as planned afterwards. Pretty sure that's when I fell in love. There once was a man in a dorm who was getting to know his date's form. When he tried to pass gas, something stirred in his ass. and his pants became swampy and warm, while he clenched shut his southerly tube, with his hands planted still on her boob. She paused for a while, and replied with a smile, "Well, I'm glad you remembered the lube." I had just started a job working with her, and, unbeknownst to me at the time, her mom and I did not get along. My move was, "What's up with that thick itch? Insert name." She said, "Oh, I'll tell my mom you said hi." My point was dead. But hey, we are married 16 years, so have your feelings about the mill changed? Please, we need answers. I'm sorry, but she found this comment. He's gone now. We were taking a shower together, and she was soaping up, while I was under the hot water rinsing off, and she slipped. Instead of grabbing/helping her, I pulled away, thinking for some reason that I'd already rinsed off and didn't want to get soapy. Thank God she caught herself on the shower curtain and didn't get hurt. She was not happy. My explanation of my faulty thinking didn't help at all either. We laugh about it now, but it took some serious smoothing over at the time. I did something along this line. We were taking a shower and hubby, BF at the time, decided to have a tickle fight. Well, I hate being tickled, so I instinctively pushed back. This caused him to fall out of the shower and hit his back on the toilet. He ended up with a giant bruise on his back, and I was bawling my eyes out, cause I thought I killed him and or our relationship. We have been together for 7 years now, married for 4, but I still don't live this one down. This is bringing back memories to the time I was play wrestling with an ex. And I was trying to get free and thought back, quote, "Don't hit him in the stomach, he hates that." So I punched him in the dick. Why, brain? Why? She was making dinner for me and asked where my hand mixer was. I handed her a spoon. First date with my wife. End of the night, I went to kiss her on the cheek, being all sweet and shit. She thought I was leaning in for a hug and leaned in too. As she leaned in, I turned my head, and instead of her cheek I kissed her neck. Turned super red and embarrassed, then goodbye, and almost pushed her out of the door at my apartment. I immediately texted her sorry as well, and she laughed. 3 years into marriage, she apparently didn't care. Better than me. I went in for a kiss, and this is where our versions differ. She turned her cheek, so I kissed her on the cheek goodnight. Next few dates I got too scared to try again. Eventually I straight up asked her, if I try again will she turn away? She stood stunned for a minute and then accused me of turning my cheek when she went for the kiss. In summary, we spent 2 months in each other's friend zone because we thought the other didn't want a kiss. Wife here, but about 3 weeks into dating, my husband invited me to a house party at his best friend's place. We were playing beer pong, having fun. The other team is up, they toss the ball. I lean forward to try to block it. My now husband extends his hand out in front of me at the same time, catching the ball, but at the same time hitting me in the eye and somehow pulling out 3/4 of my eyelashes. He felt terrible about it and tried to burn off his eyelashes in drunken sympathy. He hates when I bring it up, but I think it is the funniest story. The night I met my husband, he stared at me while I was sleeping for 4 hours straight. It's been 3 years. He still stares at me until I scold him for it. Then he waits until he thinks I won't notice and starts staring again. I love him to the moon and back, even though he'd sure as hell stare at me the entire trip. My GF does this all the time. Although flattering, it's still pretty creepy to wake up to. I didn't ask her for her number the first time we hung out, knowing I may never see her again. My brother got it, and I later got it from him. How did your brother get a number? He asked her for it. I had gone to bed. I asked for it a few days later. I didn't really do it, but I thought he would be weirded out anyways. Very first time he stayed at my house, after about 3 hours of my 2 male roommates trying to make him uncomfortable, we went to bed, and he put his contacts into shot glasses of water because he had no case with him. I don't know if that's a dumb thing to do. I've never worn them. Maybe we were drinking, and that seemed like a good idea. Anyways, he had never had a pet, and was kind of weirded out by my cat standing beside him, and meowing at him all night. Is that normal? Is he mad at me or something? Woke up the next day to find out the cat drank all the water from the shot glasses, contacts included. I had to help him home. because he is seriously blind without them. He still wanted to see me again, even though the night was weird, and the cat became his best friend, despite some initial skepticism on both their parts. My dad stalked my mom. They worked at a business together, and he had a huge crush on her. He would sniff her coat when no one was looking, overhear conversations to learn what she liked, and stare at her constantly while she worked at her desk. It worked out, of course, because plot twist, my mom stalked him right back, having on separate occasions followed him home and tried to find out places he liked to hang out. They have been married for almost 35 years and they are the happiest couple I know. We was sitting at movie theater. When movie got over she said wanna mess around, said sure was winter, took her to old parking lot and proceeded to do donuts with car. She was pure white as a ghost and her eyes almost popped out of her head. She then screams, "You fucking idiot, I meant fool around sexually lol 3. We'll be married 18 years in few months." Now she specifically spells out when she want to fool around and not car wise. Please subscribe and hit the like button. Take a look at this dog and hit the subscribe button. Also, please hit the bell icon and leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and live your own life.